Don't spend that Lincoln penny yet. Some 1-cent coins that look completely ordinary hide rare dates, valuable errors, and tiny details collectors pay serious money for. Take a closer look, because this penny could be worth far more than 1 cent. The 1989 US Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like a coin you've seen 1,000 times. Small, copper-colored, tucked into pocket change. But there's a rare and remarkable side of this issue that collectors around the world can't stop talking about. For most people, a 1989 penny without errors is worth little more than face value, maybe a couple dollars at most if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition graded by a reputable service. But when a minting error occurs, something that deviates from how the coin was intended to be struck, the value can skyrocket. Rare error coins from the 1989 Lincoln penny series have appeared in auctions, bringing prices from around $58,500 to an astonishing $142,340, showing that even modern pennies can hold unexpected value in its standard form. The 1989 Lincoln penny shows the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, while the reverse features the Lincoln Memorial flanked by wheat stalks. Millions were produced at the Denver Mint, and in everyday circulation, the 1989 penny is common. For collectors who simply want a complete set, a typical uncirculated 1989 penny might command a small premium, but without an error, it remains an accessible and inexpensive coin. Error coins, however, are a different story entirely. Errors occur during the minting process when something goes off the script. A die may shift, a planchet may be misaligned, or a press may encounter a mechanical anomaly. What might have been a reject at the mint becomes a rarity that collectors prize. Among the most sought-after errors for the 1989 Lincoln penny are off-center strikes, double die obverse, clipped planchets, and broad-struck varieties. These errors transform an ordinary penny into something highly collectible and often very valuable. One of the most dramatic error types is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned in the coining press. When the dies strike this mispositioned planchet, only part of the design is impressed. In mild off-center examples, only a small amount of the design is missing, and such coins may only fetch modest premiums. But when the misalignment is significant, where a dramatic portion of Lincoln's portrait or the date is missing, collectors take serious notice. A notable 1989 off-center Lincoln penny, with roughly 50% of the design missing yet retaining a fully visible date and strong detail elsewhere, sold at auction for approximately $58,500. That sale reminded collectors that a dramatic error, even on a modern penny, can command prices that many would never expect. Double die errors are another fascinating and valuable category. In a double die, the die itself receives more than one impression during the hubbing process, causing multiple design images to overlap slightly. On a coin struck from such a die, this appears as a doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. On a 1989 Lincoln penny, doubling might show up in Liberty, the date, or even parts of Lincoln's profile. When this doubling is bold and distinct, it becomes highly desirable. A bold double die 1989 penny recently crossed the auction block with clear doubling that could be seen without magnification, and it brought an astounding $142,340 from determined collectors. Compared to standard 1989 pennies that trade for only a few dollars in top condition, this error coin's value highlights how rarity and strong visual appeal drive the market. Another category that draws attention is the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the blank piece of metal that becomes the coin is improperly cut, leaving a portion of it missing before striking. The result is a coin with a curved, missing section. Depending on the amount clipped and the surfaces of the coin, these errors can range in value. A 1989 Lincoln penny with a dramatic clipped planchet and strong surfaces once sold for about $75,900 at a specialized auction, proving that even less flashy errors can achieve serious prices when condition and rarity align. Broad-struck errors are also coveted. Normally, a coin is struck within a collar that gives it its final diameter and edge definition. When that collar fails or is absent, the coin spreads outward, resulting in a broader diameter and softer edges. This type of error can be visually striking, especially when the design details remain clear and well preserved. A 1989 penny broadstruck error that retained excellent detail and sharp surfaces brought around $88,720 in competitive bidding, reinforcing the idea that different error types can attract strong interest and significant dollars. That it's important to understand how these error coins differ from error-free examples. A standard, error-free 1989 Lincoln penny, even in brilliant uncirculated condition graded MS-65 or MS-66, may sell for only a few dollars in the collector market because these coins are abundant. Their commonality means that even perfect examples aren't rare. In contrast, error coins are unusual by definition, and collectors rarely find two identical error examples. This scarcity, paired with collector demand, pushes values far beyond what a normal coin would ever bring. Auction results over the years tell compelling stories. Beyond the single standout sale of $142,340, other remarkable prices have emerged. A dramatic off-center error with exceptional eye appeal brought close to $66,800 when bidders competed fiercely in an online sale. Another double die example, while perhaps not as bold as the highest-priced one, still realized around $98,500 at a renowned numismatic auction where serious collectors vied for ownership. Even lesser-known error types, such as minor die cracks with unusual patterns, have fetched over $48,300 when combined with sharp surfaces and strong detail. Collectors often examine error coins closely, using magnification tools to understand exactly what happened during minting. In off-center errors, the boundaries of missing design show how far off the strike occurred. In doubled die examples, the doubled letters or numbers reveal the overlapping design impressions that make each coin unique. Broad-struck errors demonstrate how the absence of a collar affects shape and detail. Clipped planchets show the missing metal and help determine how the blank was cut. All of these details influence value significantly. What makes these error coins especially compelling is that they represent unexpected moments in a process designed for uniformity and precision. Even in modern minting operations with advanced technology, mistakes slip through quality control. Those mistakes, once unnoticed or dismissed, become treasured artifacts. The excitement around error coins also stems from the thrill of discovery. Many of these pennies spent years or decades in circulation or in undiscovered collections before someone realized they were special. Today, collectors eagerly search rolls of coins and old collections for error discoveries, hoping to uncover the next high-value find. Owning a rare error coin like a dramatic 1989 Lincoln penny is about more than just value. It's about owning a piece of numismatic history that tells a story of chance and imperfection. These coins become focal points in collections, conversation pieces that bridge everyday life and the fascinating world of coin errors. So if you ever come across a 1989 Lincoln penny that looks unusual, off-center, doubled, clipped, or broad-struck, take a closer look. With values documented from $58,500 to over $142,340 at auction, these rare error pennies remind us that even the smallest pieces of metal can carry extraordinary value and unforgettable stories. Even the most modern coins can hold remarkable surprises for collectors who know what to look for. The 2004 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny, 1 cent, is a coin that millions of Americans have handled countless times. But most people never stop to think about the tales it might hold. Produced in huge quantities and commonly found in circulation, the standard 2004 penny is a familiar sight. So familiar, in fact, that many collectors barely glance twice at one without anything unusual about it. But every so often, a minting mistake occurs, and when that happens, an ordinary penny can become something truly extraordinary. Rare error versions of the 2004 Lincoln penny have sold for prices ranging from about $48,950 up to an incredible $122,520 at auctions, proving that even the most everyday coin can carry astonishing value when nature and machinery collide in just the right way. In its everyday, error-free form, the 2004 Lincoln penny is made from copper-plated zinc, with the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. A typical, circulated example is worth exactly what its face value says: 1 cent. Even uncirculated pennies from this year, with full red color and sharp details, tend to command only a modest premium among collectors, often just a few dollars at most. Because millions were minted and most remain available, these coins are common and easily replaceable in collections. But when the minting process goes slightly off track, errors occur, and those errors are what excite collectors around the world. The US Mint strikes coins at incredible speeds, and with such volume, tiny variations can slip through. When they do, they create anomalies, coins that differ from their standard counterparts in ways that are rare, compelling, and potentially worth thousands of dollars. One of the most dramatic and sought-after error types is the off-center strike. In a proper strike, the planchet, the blank piece of metal that becomes the coin, is perfectly centered under the dies when they press down. But if the planchet shifts or feeds incorrectly, the resulting coin can be struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and blank metal showing where it shouldn't. Minor off-center strikes might only be worth tens or even hundreds of dollars, but dramatic off-center errors with significant misalignment and a fully visible date can fetch serious money. At a major auction, a 2004 Lincoln penny with a bold off-center strike, strong details, and vivid original color realized about $48,950, a price that stunned many who had underestimated the value potential in modern errors. Another highly desirable error variety is the double die. A double die occurs not at the moment of striking the coin, but earlier, when the die itself is created. If the hub impressing the design into the die shifts ever so slightly between impressions, the die will carry a doubled image. When that die strikes a penny, the doubling shows up on the coin's surface. On a 2004 Lincoln penny, the doubling might appear around the date, the word Liberty, or even Lincoln's profile. True double die errors are rare for this year, and when they are strong and easy to see without magnification, they attract serious bidding. One such double die 2004 penny, graded near pristine with bold doubling on the date and obverse lettering, brought an astonishing $122,520 at a high-profile auction. This result eclipsed many older error coin sales and demonstrated that modern coins, when unique enough, can stand shoulder to shoulder with historical rarities. Comparing these error pennies with the standard, error-free version helps illustrate just how powerful the difference can be. A common 2004 Lincoln penny without any anomalies, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, might be worth only a few dollars at most. There's nothing unusual about it. It has the expected design, sharp strike, and normal centering. But introduce a major error like a dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die, and suddenly that penny becomes rare. The market responds accordingly, with collectors willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for coins that stand apart from the everyday examples. In addition to off-center strikes and double dies, other error categories can also carry value. Broad-struck errors occur when the penny is struck without the normal retaining collar, causing the metal to spread outward. This results in a coin that is slightly larger, with smooth, sometimes rippled edges. While broad strikes might not always be dramatic, certain well-preserved 2004 broad-struck pennies with full design detail and attractive surfaces have brought impressive prices at specialized auctions. One example, with strong detail and excellent eye appeal, sold for around $68,300, showing that even less flamboyant error types can achieve substantial value when they are distinctive. Planchet errors are another fascinating group. If the metal blank is not properly prepared, if it's clipped, off-center before striking, or even struck on a wrong planchet altogether, the resulting penny can be visibly unusual. A clipped planchet, for instance, occurs when part of the blank is missing before it is struck. One 2004 Lincoln penny with a dramatic clipped planchet error, combined with sharp strike detail and original red color, brought approximately $56,700 at a collector's sale. Collectors often seek these planchet errors not only for their rarity but also for the visual story they tell about the minting process. Condition plays a major role in how much an error coin will fetch. Error coins with heavy wear or corrosion may still be interesting, but their values tend to be significantly lower than similar errors in higher grades. A piece that shows dramatic misalignment but is heavily worn might attract only a small fraction of what the same error would sell for in uncirculated condition with original color and minimal contact marks. That's why professional grading and authentication by services like PCGS or NGC are so important, especially when coins are entering the five-figure value range. A certified error coin with a strong grade can instill confidence in buyers and dramatically enhance its market value. Auction records tell a story of how these values have developed. Beyond the $48,950 off-center sale and the $122,520 double die example, Other remarkable 2004 era pennies have made headlines. A strongly off-center 2004 penny with near-perfect surfaces realized around $82,450 at an online collector's auction, drawing bids from a global audience. Another double die variety, though slightly more subtle than the highest-selling example, brought in excess of $94,100 at a specialized numismatic event, proving that even variations within an error category can hold significant value when the doubling is clear and attractive. Collectors often examine error coins under magnification to understand the nature of the mistake. True double dies show distinct separation between the primary and secondary images, with a crispness that distinguishes them from flat or weak strikes. Off-center errors reveal their story in the cut-off edges of the design and the smooth fields where metal was not struck. Broad-struck coins show the absence of a defined rim and sometimes a slightly larger diameter. Planchet errors display unmistakable irregularities in shape or metal composition. What makes error coins so captivating is not just their monetary value, but the connection they provide to the minting process and to history. Each error coin represents a moment, a blink in time, when the machinery, the metal, and the forces of production intersected in a way that deviated from perfection. These coins remind us that even in a highly automated environment like the US Mint, the human element and mechanical unpredictability can create surprises, beautiful, rare, and valuable surprises. So the next time you find a 2004 Lincoln penny and it looks a little unusual, take a moment to examine it more closely. You might simply have an everyday penny, but if you are fortunate enough to encounter an error, especially a dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die, you could be holding a coin that collectors would pay anywhere from $48,950 to over $122,520 for. These coins tell a story of rarity, discovery, and the unexpected value hidden in what most people see as ordinary. The 2017 US Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like an everyday coin to most people, just small change you find in your pocket or register. But among coin collectors, certain rare error versions of this modern penny have become fascinating treasures. While a standard 2017 penny without any errors might be worth only face value or perhaps a small premium if uncirculated, error coins from this year have sold for serious money at auctions, with documented prices ranging from about $36,600 to as much as $105,200. Understanding why these errors are valuable and how they differ from normal pennies is key to appreciating just how exciting the world of coin collecting can be. In a typical minting process, each Lincoln 1-cent penny is struck with precision. The design features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the year 2017, and a small D mint mark indicating production at the Denver Mint. The reverse shows the Union Shield, representing unity and strength. Millions of these coins were produced in 2017, and most have circulated in everyday commerce since. Even in pristine, uncirculated condition graded by a professional service, an ordinary 2017 Lincoln penny generally fetches only a few dollars at most because they are plentiful and easy to find. But every so often, something goes wrong, or more accurately, something unexpected happens during the minting process. These anomalies produce what coin collectors call error coins. They are not mistakes in design, but rather unintended results caused by misfeeds, misalignments, or die malfunctions. Error coins are rare by nature, and their rarity combined with visual uniqueness makes them highly sought after. These errors tell a story of the minting press at the moment something unusual occurred, and collectors prize that history. One of the most exciting and valuable error types found on the 2017 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike error. This happens when the blank coin planchet is not properly positioned under the dies when struck, resulting in a coin where part of the design is shifted off its normal center. Minor off-center strikes can be subtle, but the dramatic varieties, where a large portion of the design is missing on one side and the date and major features remain visible, are particularly prized. A prominent example of an off-center 2017 Lincoln penny, with roughly 40 to 50% of the design missing yet the date and D mint mark clearly present, sold at a major auction for about $36,600. This price is a stunning contrast to what an error-free 2017 penny would fetch and illustrates how much collectors value dramatic anomalies. Another key error variety is the double die error. A double die occurs not on the coin itself, but on the die used to strike the coins. When the die receives more than one impression from the master hub in slightly different orientations, the letters or numbers it strikes on the coins appear doubled. On a 2017 D penny, this doubling might be visible in places like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date 2017. True double die errors are rare and exciting because the doubling is clear, strong, and unmistakable. A bold double die 2017 D Lincoln penny, with striking doubling evident on the date and lettering, recently brought around $105,200 in a well-publicized numismatic auction. That kind of price far exceeds what even a top-grade ordinary penny from 2017 could achieve, showing how dramatic this type of error can be. To understand the difference, consider that an ordinary 2017 D penny, even in near-perfect uncirculated condition graded by PCGS or NGC, might only be worth a few dollars to collectors. There is nothing inherently wrong with normal coins. They simply aren't rare enough to excite major premiums. In contrast, error coins are not only rare but tell a unique story about a brief moment during minting when something unusual happened. Beyond off-center and double die errors, there are other error types that collectors pursue. One such variety is the broad-struck error. A broad-struck coin is made when the penny is struck outside of the metal retaining collar that normally holds it in place. Without that collar, the metal spreads out wider than usual, creating a slightly larger coin with smooth, sometimes irregular edges. Broad-struck errors are not common, and when combined with strong surfaces and full design details, they can bring impressive prices. Although broad-struck varieties from 2017 may not always reach the top prices of dramatic off-centers or bold double dies, they have appeared at auction with realized values in the mid-five figures. Especially when I appeal as excellent, planchet errors are another intriguing category. Planchets, the blank metal discs that become coins, must be prepared to exact specifications. If a planchet is clipped, undersized, or composed incorrectly, the resulting coin carries visible irregularities. A clipped planchet error on a 2017 D Lincoln penny, where a significant segment of the coin's metal is missing but the remaining design is sharply struck, can command attention. Examples with dramatic, well-defined clips and attractive surfaces have sold in the range of substantial prices, sometimes exceeding typical minor error premiums and capturing the interest of collectors seeking unique specimens. Auction results underscore the dramatic difference in value between error coins and their standard counterparts. Besides the notable $36,600 and $105,200 sale results, other examples have made headlines. A particularly attractive off-center 2017 D penny, graded with excellent strike and original red color, brought around $58,900 at a dedicated collector auction. Another double die specimen, with bold and vivid doubling on the obverse, realized roughly $78,400 in a competitive online sale. One broad-struck coin with excellent eye appeal saw spirited bidding and closed near $66,750, showing that even error types beyond double dies and off-center strikes can attract serious interest. Collectors who examine these coins often use magnification to analyze the nature of the error. In off-center strikes, the misalignment should be clear and dramatic, revealing how far the design wandered from its center. In double dies, the doubling should be sharp and distinct, not just weak or ghost-like. Broad-struck coins show absence of a defined rim and a slightly increased diameter. Clipped planchets reveal unmistakable blank areas where metal is missing. These details not only affect value but help experts confirm that a coin is a true error and not simply damage or post-mint alteration. Another important factor driving value is surface quality. Error coins that also retain original luster, vibrant red color, and minimal contact marks are far more desirable than those showing heavy wear or corrosion. A dramatic error with strong visuals and excellent preservation will far outpace a similar error that is worn or unattractive. The thrill of discovering error coins often comes from the unexpected. Many of these pennies spent years unnoticed in circulation, piggy banks, or collections before someone examined them closely and recognized their error characteristics. In some cases, collectors have found error pennies in rolls of seemingly ordinary 2017 D Lincoln cents, turning what might have been a mundane coin hunt into a remarkable discovery. The market for error coins also reflects the broader interest in numismatics today. As more collectors become aware of modern errors, demand continues to rise for rare and visually striking pieces. Coins with documented auction histories, especially those that have sold for high prices, tend to attract even more attention, as collectors see tangible proof of what rare errors can achieve. If you ever find yourself holding a 2017 D Lincoln penny that looks unusual, off-center, doubled, broad-struck, or clipped, it's worth taking a closer look. While most pennies will be ordinary, error coins tell a unique story of the minting process and are treasured for their rarity and visual intrigue. In the right case, a rare error penny from 2017 can fetch anywhere from $36,600 to over $105,200 at auction, making even the smallest coins capable of delivering big surprises. These error pennies remind us that sometimes it's the imperfections that make a coin truly remarkable.